The purpose of this small short video is to help you get a grip with multiplying numbers in standard form and then dividing number of standard forms. So on the left hand side I've written a couple of examples. On the right hand side you will have to stop the video and have a go on your own. So first of all, we have two standard form numbers here. They are in standard form because they are made of two parts. The first part is between 1 and smaller than 10, and the second part is a power of 10, and this power, this index, being a whole number. So what we are going to do here is we are actually, it's a bit like collecting like terms. We are going to group what goes together. So really we can have 3 times 2.5. Those goes nicely together on one hand. And on the other hand, we have 10 to the power of 6 times 10 to the power of 9. So your second step from that is to complete the first operation. So 3 times 2.5 is 7.5. And 10 to the power of 6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 9, you can use your laws of indices, or you can think about it as having, you have 6 lots of 10s that are multiplied together, and you add another 9 lots of 10. So in total, you will have times 10 to the power of, well, 6 plus 9 would be 15. And before you move on, you do a sanity check. Is my answer in standard form? Well, the first part of your number is between 1 and smaller than 10. Therefore, yes, it is in standard form. You are done. You can stop. In the second example, the start is really the same. So from here, we're going to have 5 times 2.5. You group what goes together. And then on the other end, you're going to multiply 10 to the power of 6 by 10 to the power of 9. However, when you do 5 times 2.5, the answer is 12.5. And if you have 10 to the power of 6 times 10 to the power of 9, again using your laws of indices, you have 10 multiplied by itself 6 times, and then multiplied by itself again a further 9 times. So this gives you 10 to the power of 6 add 9 is 15. This time, and this so far is correct, but this time when you do your sanity check, you can see that the first part of your number does not satisfy the convention for standard form, which is written in the corner, by the way, as a reminder, where the first part of your number, it has to be between 1 and 10. Well, here it's not between 1 and 10, it's 12.5. So you have a second step for this question, which is to change your 12.5 into a number that's between 1 and 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a 10 times 10 to the power of 15. We're going to keep it to the right hand side because we're going to deal with it afterwards. And for now, we're going to write 12.5 in standard form itself, which would be 1.25 multiplied by 10 to the power of 1. So 12.5 is 1.25 multiplied by 10. Once you have done that, you now have a number at the front that is between 1 and smaller than 10. So you have your 1.25, and you're going to group your powers of 10. So this time you're going to have 10 to the power of 1 plus 15, 10 to the power of 16. And this is how you have your final answer, because now it is in standard form. So you should now pause and have a go at the two questions on the right hand side. So this time we are going to look at a slightly more difficult case of dividing two numbers in standard form. And what I strongly recommend you do is you start representing your division in the form of a fraction, because then what you need to do is clearer. So the numerator here, you've got 5 times 10 to the power of 6, and you want to divide that by 2 times 10 to the power of 9. So I'm going to put the 2 times 10 to the power of 9 at the denominator, because this is the same as having 5 times 10 to the power of 6, which needs to be divided by 2 times 10 to the power of 9. And from here, a bit like for multiplication, you're going to group together what goes together. So this 5 over 2, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. And to handle the powers of tens, you use your laws of indices. So the numerator, you have 10 to the power of 6. At the denominator, you have 10 to the power of 9. So you're going to end up, as a result, having 10 to the power of 6, take away 9, which is minus 3. So we need to be careful here. That is 6, take away 9. So you're going to have 10 to the power of minus 3. Like with multiplication, you then do a sanity check. Is my number in standard form? Is the first part of my number between 1 and 10? The answer is yes, it is. So you're done. This is your answer, and it is in standard form. In the second example, is a bit exactly like multiplication, where actually, after your first stage, you don't yet have a number in standard form, so you're going to have to handle it differently. So this time I've chosen 2 times 10 to the power of 6, and you're going to divide that by 5 times 10 to the power of 9. So like in the first example, you're going to start by doing your number part. 2 divided by 5, which is the same as 4 divided by 10. You can use your calculator if you're unsure, but 2 divided by 5 is 0.4. And then your powers of 10, you have 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 9. So you have 10 to the power of 6, take away 9, you have minus 3, so 10 to the power of minus 3. And at that stage, so far what you have done is correct, but the first part of your number is not in standard form because it's smaller than 1. It's not in standard form. So what you're going to need to do is to convert 0.4 in standard form. To do that, we are first going to rewrite times 10 to the power of minus 3. We're going to park it on the right hand side for now, because we're going to deal with it in a minute. But for now, 0.4, if you want to write that in standard form, this is 4 times 10 to the power of minus 1. So the result will be here. You now have 4, which is between 1 and 10. So you have 4 times 10 to the power of minus 1, add minus 3, will be minus 4. And this time, yes, you have a number between 1 and 10, so you have a number in standard form. You have another question on the right hand side, so just take a minute now, pause or stop this video to complete the question on the right hand side.